One day, Tenali Raman said to the King Krishnadevaraya, "Your Majesty, tonight is a full moon night. Let us go and enjoy horse riding." "Yes, Tenali, why not?" said the king. That night, the king, the Prime Minister, Tenali Raman, and some guards left to enjoy a full moon night. The cool breeze was blowing slowly. The king was enjoying himself. Tenali said, "Your Majesty, the forest looks very beautiful on a moonlight night. If you permit, we can proceed to the forest to see the beauty of nature." The king agreed. The group proceeded toward the forest. All the plants and trees seemed to be wrapped in a silver silk cloth. They were looking magnificent as the full moon shed its light all around. The king relaxed and enjoyed the pleasure of the sights of nature. Just then he heard the voice of some people. "Who is here in the forest so late in the night?" The king asked. No one answered the question asked by the king. They then saw a row of bullock carts coming down the path. Some people were driving the carts. The carts were loaded with timber. The king saw them and asked, "What is this? Where are you taking these logs of wood?" One of the bullock cart driver got down. He approached the king and said, "Your Majesty, we have got these logs of wood by cutting the trees. This belongs to Pushaparaj Thirumal. We are taking these logs to the river. We will put the logs into the boats. Those boats will take the logs to the capital city of our neighboring kingdom. There, Pushaparaj Thirumal will sell these logs at twice the price to our neighbors." The king became furious to hear all this. He said, "Call him at once. He cannot carry this illegal task anymore. He is smuggling wood." The bullock cart driver said, "Your Majesty, if you go down to the bank of the river, you will find Pushaparaj Thirumal." The king became very angry. He rode quickly to the bank of the river along with his group. Pushaparaj Thirumal was standing there with some men. He was waiting with a boatman for the bullock carts to arrive. When he saw the king and the men approaching him, he became nervous. The king said, "Pushaparaj Thirumal, we have come to know all about your wood smuggling. You will be surely punished for such an illegal act." Then the king turned to his prime minister and said, "Ask your men to inquire into the matter and get all the details. This man must be punished severely for his act." Hearing these king's words, Tenali intervened and said, "Your Majesty, I think the person who helped Pushaparaj Thirumal must also be punished. Surely his helper should be equally punished. Tell me his name." "Tenali?" Tenali Raman said, "Your Majesty, Pushaparaj Thirumal's assistant is our own Honorable Prime Minister. He is the one who gave him the permission to carry out this plan, and for overlooking smuggling, Pushaparaj Thirumal pays him 500 gold coins." "Is this true?" the king asked in anger, turning towards the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister stood shamefaced. He started sweating and could barely speak. Then the king said, "Shame on you. You hold a prestigious position in our kingdom, but you are taking bribes. Your conduct should be such that you can set a good example for others." But you are cheated our kingdom. Thereby I dismiss you from the job. The guards took Pushparaj Thirumal and the Prime Minister in custody. Then Tenali Raman said, Your Majesty, I lied to you about enjoying the full moon night. Actually, I had no proof to prove what was going on. So I brought you here. So I brought you here to see for yourself what was going on. Sorry for I have troubled you. The king smiled and said, No, Tenali, it was no trouble at all. In fact, it was such an enjoyable night that I shall never forget.